SpongeBob SquarePants first aired on TV on May 1st, 1999, and almost as soon as the series had come out, it was an immediate hit. And Season 1 wouldn't end until March 3rd of 2001. But this first season of the show feels very different from what the show really became in Season 2 and 3, and I feel like people remember Season 2 and 3 episodes a lot more than they do Season 1. So in this video, I plan to take a look at some of the best episodes from Season 1 to shine a light on it. This isn't going to be a definitive best episode list or anything, it's really just my opinion of episodes that I like from Season 1. After I've done this video, I plan to do ones for Season 2 and 3 after this. So if you enjoyed this and would want to see those videos come out, then please give this video a like. But without any further ado, let's get right into the video. The first thing to mention about Season 1 of the show is that it was the only season to be animated on cells, while every other season was animated digitally. This makes the colors look ever so slightly different, but it gives Season 1 a certain vibe. I don't really know how to describe it, there's just a vibe there. But obviously, the first episode we have to talk about is Help Wanted. This being the first episode of the show, and the episode where SpongeBob gets his job at the Krusty Krab. The episode starts with SpongeBob getting super excited to go and apply for his new job. He gets a little nervous going in, but he gets some encouragement from Patrick, and he heads on in there. Bro gives this dramatic entrance and then immediately trips on a nail. Bro's not giving too good of a first impression. Mr. Krabs says he'll hire him, but first there's a test. He tells him to find some hydrodynamic spatula, and then SpongeBob goes off to find it. But as soon as SpongeBob leaves, the restaurant is swarmed with anchovies who want some food really bad, apparently. SpongeBob, of course, finds the impossible spatula, though, and comes back and saves the day. And, of course, gets hired. And that's the first episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. A pretty iconic and awesome first episode. I remember always liking when it came on when I was younger. The next episode I want to talk about is Tea at the Treedome. This episode is notable for being the first episode where SpongeBob meets Sandy, who of course becomes a main character in the series. The episode starts with SpongeBob jellyfishing, and we also get to see him wearing his glasses, which he wears sometimes in Season 1, but doesn't really wear any time after that. While he's jellyfishing, he sees Sandy fighting a giant clam. SpongeBob goes down and starts talking to her, and learns about how she needs air to live, and SpongeBob says that he loves air too, just to fit in, even though he doesn't know what air is. After this, Sandy invites SpongeBob to go hang out at her Treedome, and he accepts. He goes into Sandy's Treedome, but starts dying because he has no water, but he tries to play it off like it's all cool. Patrick eventually comes in to help SpongeBob, but starts dying too, and Sandy eventually gives him some water, and says they should have just asked for it, and that's the episode. This one is a pretty good one, and it also has the legendary "I don't need it" meme moment, so it's gotta get some points for that. But yeah, good episode overall. Before we talk about any more episodes, I want to talk about some of the early SpongeBob merch. The first wave of early SpongeBob merch all have a unique uniform design on the packaging, which I think looks really nice. The YouTube channel Comfort Cartoons did a really good 50-minute long video showing their entire vintage SpongeBob merch collection. So if you want to see all of these old products, I recommend you watch that video. The same packaging style that was on all this old merch was also used for the SpongeBob Season 1 DVD, and I'd love to collect all the SpongeBob season sets one day, but for now all I have is the first 100 episode set. One of the weirdest early SpongeBob products to be released is the SpongeBob flip phone. This was a real flip phone made by Nickelodeon that you could really call people on. Imagine calling up all your homies on the SpongeBob phone, bro. They also released a SpongeBob cell phone faceplate, so you can SpongeBobify your normal phone if you want to. They also released the SpongeBob shower radio, which is like a shower-proof radio you're supposed to put in the shower so you can listen to music, but it's SpongeBob themed. Pretty sick, honestly. I kind of want this. They also released tons of SpongeBob toys and stuff, but I really just wanted to talk about the weird products. Ripped Pants is one of the most popular episodes throughout the entire series, and I'm pretty sure most people watching this video have already seen it. Well, you probably saw the last last 2 episodes I talked about too, but whatever. In this episode, SpongeBob goes to the beach with Sandy and continually uses a joke of him ripping his pants to get attention, but the joke quickly starts to become annoying. My favorite scene in this episode is when he washes up on the beach. Also, the song he sings at the end is peak. Legendary moment. There's not really much else to say about this episode. It's really funny and it's a classic. Did you know there was a SpongeBob Game Boy Color game? So this game came out on March 5th, 2001, which is like 2 days after season 1 ended, but I still think it counts to talk about in this video. The full title of the game is SpongeBob SquarePants Legend of the Lost Spatula. The game has a really goofy title screen. I mean, I get it's the Game Boy Color, but I feel like they could have done better than this. The story of the game is that SpongeBob has to find the golden spatula to become the master fry cook, and so that Mr. Krabs can sell it and make money. That's the story, but I didn't really do any of that. You can kind of just walk around Bikini Bottom. It doesn't like force you to play the game. You can really just walk around and look at all the cool locations on a Game Boy. It's pretty sick. If I knew this existed when I was younger, I would have played it and it would have been awesome. But I actually had Atlantis SquarePantis on the DS, which is infinitely better, so I don't care. So yeah, that's the SpongeBob Game Boy Color game. I just felt like it should be mentioned in this video because it's interesting. The next episode we're going to talk about is Plankton. This is obviously the episode that introduces Plankton to the series, who becomes the main antagonist. The episode starts with normal activities of the Krusty Krab, until suddenly a burger starts running around. Mr. Krabs stomps on the burger, revealing that it was Plankton inside of it, trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula. Mr. Krabs puts Plankton on a plate and chucks him back to the chum bucket. SpongeBob asks Mr. Krabs who's Plankton, and Mr. Krabs explains that Plankton has been trying to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula so that he can use it for his own restaurant, the Chum Bucket. Later, when SpongeBob's leaving the Krusty Krab to go home, he encounters Plankton, and Plankton's trying to be all buddy-buddy cool with him, obviously in an attempt to get the secret formula. He gives SpongeBob like a golden spatula, and is like, hey, since I gave you that, you should give me the Krabby Patty secret formula. SpongeBob doesn't fall for it though, and just walks home. Later that night, Plankton sneaks into SpongeBob's brain through his sponge holes and starts controlling him. He ends up running SpongeBob through the Krusty Krab to get a Krabby Patty, but before he can find out what's in it, he gets too excited and jumps out of SpongeBob into the machine, making it like explode or something, and then SpongeBob leaves. The episode is a really good introduction to Plankton and has some really good jokes in it, so overall, good. Pizza Delivery is one of the most popular episodes throughout the whole show, so I'm pretty sure you've seen this one. But if any of y'all haven't, I'll tell you a little bit about it. In the episode, the Krusty Krab gets a call asking if they serve pizza. Mr. Krabs can't turn down money, so he of course says yes. But the Krusty Krab doesn't sell pizza. But no problem, because Mr. Krabs can magically morph Krabby Patties into pizza apparently. And then he sends SpongeBob and Squidward on a delivery. Because SpongeBob can't drive, they immediately get lost and run out of gas. They go on an epic trek to find this dude's house so they can deliver the pizza, and we get the legendary Krusty Krab pizza song. SpongeBob finds a rock that he uses to drive to the customer's house. Yeah, it's a pretty wacky show. But when they finally get there, the customer doesn't want his pizza because they say he forgot his drink despite him not ordering one. This makes SpongeBob sad, but Squidward goes back and throws the pizza in the dude's face and then tells SpongeBob that he ate the whole thing. I've always liked this nice moment from Squidward. It shows that he's truly not mean all the time and truly does care about SpongeBob. But yeah, this is a great episode, and I do think it's deserving of all the praise it gets. It's super enjoyable and really funny. The next episode we'll be covering is Sandy's rocket. In this episode, Sandy makes a rocket so that she can go to the moon. SpongeBob wants to go, but she's like, no way, you'll cause way too much trouble. But at nighttime, SpongeBob and Patrick sneak out and start messing with it. They take the rocket up, but it immediately goes back down. But because they're idiots, they think that they're on another planet, and so they start capturing everyone because they think they're aliens. At the end of the episode, he shoots the rocket back up to the moon and gets stuck and dies. The episode's pretty funny, and I like the cool spacesuits they have, so pretty sick one. Fun is another extremely popular episode that most of you have probably seen. In this one, SpongeBob starts being friendly with Plankton after seeing that he basically has no friends. scenes. We get the legendary Fun song, which is awesome. You obviously think that Plankton is just being friendly to get the secret formula, but at certain points it looks like he's really enjoying the friendship. But at the end, he says being evil's too much fun and tries to steal the Krabby Patty, but of course he fails. This episode's pretty great, the Fun song is iconic, and it's cool seeing Plankton having a friend for a little while, until he got stuck back up in his evil ways. Next, we're gonna talk about the first Halloween episode in the series, that being Scaredy Pants. In this episode, SpongeBob is tired of always getting scared on Halloween, but not being able to scare anyone else. Patrick shaves SpongeBob down so that he can look like a real ghost, and he dresses up as the ghost of the Flying Dutchman, and then goes to scare everyone in the Krusty Krab, and it works for a bit. Then the real Flying Dutchman shows up and is disrespected by SpongeBob's terrible costume, but then he takes off SpongeBob's costume and gets actually scared. I always love the ending joke to this episode, it's great. It really sucks that I never saw this episode air much when I was younger. Halloween's my favorite holiday, so I would have loved this episode a lot when I was younger, but I didn't really see it until a lot more recently. Despite that though, it is still a great episode. SB129 is like the weirdest episode of the whole series, and one of the best. In the episode, Squidward gets frozen in the freezer at the Krusty Krab and only gets unfrozen after 2,000 years. He then sees the future, where everything's chrome. He uses the time machine to the future to try to get back, but ends up going to the prehistoric times and eventually gets stuck in nowhere, but eventually he manages to get back home. This episode's incredibly funny, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It gets quoted all the time, and so yeah, pretty amazing episode. Now before we talk about the next episode, I decided to get my good friend bluejxlly to voice this next segment. So Jolly, take it away.
So we're going to be talking about the Valentine's Day episode. It starts off with SpongeBob and Patrick, messing around in the carnival, and SpongeBob tells Patrick that he has a surprise for him for Valentine's Day. But when SpongeBob's surprise fails, he gives Patrick a simple handshake. Man, and then Patrick starts crashing out and stuff. But at the end, he does get his surprise, jolly good ending and all that. Overall, I would rate this episode like a 10 out of 10. It's up there with my top 5,
Now this one's a classic. We're talking about Rock Bottom. In this one, SpongeBob and Patrick get on the bus to go to Glove World, but the bus ride goes wrong, leaving SpongeBob trapped in Rock Bottom. He continuously tries to get out of Rock Bottom, but keeps failing. And at the end, he eventually uses a balloon to get back up. My favorite scene is when he's trying to grab the candy bar and the bus keeps leaving. Hilarious. A true classic. The final episode we're talking about is Texas. In this episode, Sandy gets sad because she hasn't been in Texas, and she misses being there. She sings a song all about Texas, and then Patrick and SpongeBob start making fun of Texas, which leads to her being extremely mad and wrecking them. But then they surprise her by giving her the things from Texas in Bikini Bottom, making her happy and making her want to stay. This is a classic, funny episode, and I think it's a good one to end this video on. So now that I've talked about all the season 1 episodes I want to talk about, it's time for me to end this video. Thank you so much for watching, give the video a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.